go. Hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub and show us you care. Breaking news earlier on. Wow. Could it happen? Is it real? Will it happen? Won't it happen? Who knows? It is, of course, Alexander Isak. Wow. He did not fly out with Newcastle today. That's when it really broke. That's when the madness broke, even on the Newcastle fan channels. He was missing from the plane, missing from the squad. They flew out to Singapore. They were doing a tour of Singapore and South Korea, the Newcastle team. He was not on the plane. Then stuff was coming out that he had a slight injury. Then other stuff was saying that he hadn't got an injury, that he was actually grand. Then other stuff was coming out, I think from Craig Hope, one of the Newcastle journalists in the know, let's say, that he actually did not want to go and that he wants to leave Newcastle. Now, the question is, we know Liverpool have been looking at him. Liverpool are very, very interested in him. But we know Chelsea are interested in him too. And of course, Saudi Arabia, all the Saudi clubs would be interested in him. And to be fair, everybody should be interested in him because he is one hell of a player. World class. I'll be Frank is in the house. Hit the like, hit the share. Frankie, what do you think of the Isak to Liverpool rumours that are going swirling around the last 24 hours and really have picked up in the last 7 or 8 hours? Crazy stuff. We only had signed Hugo Ekitike yesterday, who of course Newcastle wanted, but apparently we've been talking to them since January. Liverpool don't usually do these things on a whim. They're usually watching the players. The stats men are out. They're looking at them months, if not years in advance. We knew about Hugo Ekitike when he was at Reims 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago at this stage. He's just turned 23. We got him in the door. Big fee, has to be said, 69 million up front, 10 million add-ons. But the Alexander Isak one would blow absolutely everything out the window. Not only would it be a record, as we already more or less broke, I suppose, with Florian Wirtz, 116.5 plus with the add-ons included. But you would need at least 120, 130 up front, I'd say, plus maybe 20 add-ons. Is it possible? Anything seems possible in this window. I think Liverpool would have to sell before we buy. I would say the likes of Diaz would probably go to Bayern Munich, Nunez maybe to Saudi, Elliott maybe even one or two more, the likes of Morton and maybe someone else, maybe Simicas. Those type of players would have to be sold, I would say. But if they are sold, I think it has to be a possibility. He wants about 300k a week, and Newcastle are no way they're going to, sanction that. I think the highest player is him on 150 a week, so he wants double that. Plus, you raise the ceiling for everybody else. Bruno Guimaraes and all the Anthony Gordon are probably looking at it and going, hold on, I'm only on 100 grand a week. He's on 300. What's going on? You can absolutely disrupt everybody, and sometimes it's just not worth it. If the player wants to go, if the player wants to leave, it looks that way, obviously, for the fact he's not on the tour. I think you've got to take the best money for him. Just let him go and rebuild. We did it with Coutinho, of course. We all know about it as Liverpool fans. It's sad if you're a Newcastle fan. I wouldn't be happy when Salah was in his pump and people were looking for him and there was a good chance that he was going to go. I mean, that's just the sad fact of life, If you're a really good player, world-class level player, top 4, top 5 striker in the world, right in your prime, what is he, 26, perfect time to go. He's looking around. I'm not saying he's coming to Liverpool. I'd love him to come to Liverpool, but there is other teams sniffing around, I'm sure. As I said, the likes of Chelsea and Saudi clubs with the big money. I mean, they could probably give him $500,000 a year. But does he really want to go to Saudi Arabia? In his pomp, in his prime, going to, has to be said, a second level league. Okay, we know Ronaldo went, but Ronaldo went more or less at the end of his like, he's still banging them in. He's still an unbelievable player. But he more or less went at the end of his career. Whereas Isak, if he was to go to Saudi this window, would be going right at the top of his career. Surely it's a mistake. He's got to stay in the Premier League at least. And if he's going to stay in the Premier League, it looks likely that it's going to be either Liverpool or Chelsea. And hopefully for me and you, it's Liverpool. Let's see. I think he's 120 million there. There are better people out there, especially with his injuries. But anybody, yeah, look, 120 million is a lot of money. It's an unbelievable lot of money. Plus you add on, it'd be a 5-year deal, probably close to 300 grand a week. 300 grand a week. What's that? That's crazy money. That is absolutely crazy money. But look, I don't know. It's just crazy. And if you're a Newcastle fan, I'm sure you're not happy. I mean, not only has his head been turned, that he's your star player, he's your number one man, and and even the fan base are probably going to go against them now. And to be fair, that's the way football works, And it's about loyalty, and loyalty seems to be gone in football, especially in the modern day football. It's all about the Wonga, the Benjamin Franklins. It seems to be. He hasn't left yet. Newcastle still hold cards. I think he's 3 years left on his contract. He's on good wages, close to 150 a week. He has 3 years in the contract, so Newcastle could just literally stand and say, look, no, you're going nowhere. Get back into training. Get ready to rock. But the problem there is, we've seen it throughout the years, player power comes in, even with a 3-year contract. His agent's head's been turned, and obviously his head has been turned. His agent's probably whispering in his ear, they can give you 250, 300 a week. Your chance of winning a big trophy like a Champions League or a Premier League. If it's Liverpool or if it's even Chelsea, you have a chance of winning something, Saudi can give you $500,000 a week, you know what I mean? But to be fair, I think he's hungry. I think he wants trophies. I think he wants the big trophies. He's not going to win them in Saudi. So it's going to be either a big European club or a big Premier League club. And that's why I'm talking here. That's why I'm thinking and hoping it's someone like Liverpool. But let's see what happens. As I say, it broke earlier. We knew there was murmurings that he wasn't happy. He was training alone. He was picture training alone. Then there was an injury. Then there wasn't an injury. This type of stuff breaks. He's only back from holiday, so he's only back fresh into the squad. I'm sure he's not happy. I'm sure Eddie Howe is not happy either. And to be fair, if I was Eddie Howe, I wouldn't be happy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be happy as a Newcastle fan either. But it's football. It's the way of life, and it seems to be the way it is. The OG Yamal in the house. Hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub and show us you care. Do you want Alexander Isak to Liverpool? Hit the like if you do want Alexander Isak to sign for Liverpool for a record-breaking. They went close to 150 and probably want a lot of it up front. They want to rebuild. They're going to have to do a Coutinho job and rebuild. But look, I don't know. You don't know. It's just up in the air at the moment. And I'm sure Newcastle's camp, I heard something else. They're looking at Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig already as a possible replacement for Isak if he does go, which looks likely right now, to be fair. But you never know. As I say, he still has a 3-year deal. He still has a 3-year deal to honour at Newcastle. But at the moment, wow, absolutely crazy. Zico's Gaming 3568, thank you very much for subscribing. Hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub, show if you can. Yeah, the McAllister stuff, I don't think. A lot of Alexis McAllister going to Madrid, that's not going to happen, no chance. I mean, Nunes, you would say is gone. Diaz is 50-50. Bayern Munich want them to come in with a new bid maybe at the weekend. But if Nunes goes, if Diaz goes, if Elliott goes, if maybe young Martin goes, one or two other fringe players, maybe even Tsimikas goes, it cuts down the wage bill, and maybe then we put a bid in for Isak. I'm sure something like that might happen. I still think we need a centre half, maybe Mark Gea from Crystal Palace. But if we got Isak and Mark Gea, what a window that would be, the window of all windows. But Liverpool, as I said, are still in it. They're still sniffing around. The bank of John W. Henry is still open, guys. The checkbook is still open. OG Yamal in the house. How are you, my friend? Say hi. Here we go. Let's go. You have to be the next Fabrizio Romano. I don't know about that, but I do like, as I say, I do a lot of YouTube. I'm going to get a lot more lives and interviews and chats on Instagram and on Twitter X as well. Top man Dave, catch the rest of you. Thanks, mate. I'll be frank. Thank you very much, my friend. As I say, have your notifications on. Have your notifications on, because anything could happen in the next 24, 48 hours of a Liverpool fan. If you're a Newcastle fan, I'm sure too, they'll be watching in trepidation. They will be watching in horror, probably, as their star man, the number one, Alexander Isak, looks like he is not happy at Newcastle and wants out ASAP. Yellow was in the house with a few funny things. Hope you eat your dinner today. I hope so too. And cool usernames in. Hit the like, hit the share. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Yes. Sad news. Hulk Hogan has passed away. The infamous, legendary wrestler from the WWA or WWF, what was it? Something like that back in the 80s. I remember him. The yellow, the headband. What a legend. A lot of legends are dying. It was Ozzy Osbourne the other day. Now it's Hulk Hogan. All the legends of my childhood from the 80s and 90s are passing away. And that makes me feel really, really old. So rest in peace, Ozzy. And rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Hugo Ekite, welcome to Liverpool, of course, too. Flew into Hong Kong. Flew into Hong Kong and met his new teammates earlier on today. So that was great to see. He's a big boy, isn't he? Hugo is going to be boss. Get that? Hugo Boss? No. But cool username says, come on, Spurs. Yes, look, Spurs are in Champions League. You'll be doing well with Thomas Frank at the helm. Isak wants to go to Saudi. I don't know about that. It's look, yeah, you'll get the money, you get $500,000 a week, but it's a downgrade. It's an absolute downgrade. I mean, he wants to win trophies. He wants to win the big ones, the Premier League, Champions League, those type of things. You're not going to win them in Saudi, are you? Because for a start, that on end. But well, maybe that's only a matter of time with the amount of money they're pumping into the game. But look, I don't know. I don't know what will happen. He's pumping for 300 grand a week. He wants a new contract. If Newcastle can come up with an extension and give him 300 grand a week, he might actually stay. The problem for Newcastle is it will destroy the wage structure. You know, I think the highest is 150, which is what he's on every week. You know, 300, it's Salah levels, it's Van Dijk levels. Would Newcastle pay it? They might have to. They might have to do it. I just can't see them do it. He's already strapping. The fan base are going against him already. That's the issue Newcastle have. That's the real big issue they have. The next 24 or 48 hours are absolutely crucial. He's not on the plane to Singapore today. He's been left behind. So already the teammates know and are talking about it and saying he's off. Probably next time we see him, he's in a Liverpool or Chelsea shirt or Saudi Al Halal shirt or something like that. But who knows? I saw Etike score against Spurs. He's something special, says cool username. Yeah, he really is. Let's hope he is for Liverpool. Rest in peace, Diogo Jota, says OG Yamal. Absolutely. Number 20, never forgotten, of course, his brother, Andre Silva. Rest in peace, Diogo. Let's go. But as I say, guys, the breaking news today was Alexander Isak, Newcastle and Sweden striker, has been left out of the tour of Singapore and South Korea. He wasn't on the plane. Stuff came out early that he had a thigh injury, a small, light, minor injury, but surely you go on the tour for 10 days, even with a minor injury. Surely that didn't happen. Then other stuff came out that he wasn't happy, he wanted out. Newcastle were not going to offer the 300,000 a week contract extension. I knew they wouldn't. It was just too high a ceiling. They might have to do a Coutinho. Take the 120, 150, whatever's on offer for him, and rebuild like what Liverpool did. Like what Liverpool did. You know, Van Dijk, Alisson came in. You've got to build from the foundations up, and they might just have to bite their tongue, Newcastle, and take the money and run. But still, they hold the cards, as I say, still is a 3-year contract. He's still a Newcastle player, and until then, and until a real bid comes in, a fresh bid from the likes of Liverpool or Chelsea or Saudi, nothing is going to happen. But I'm sure there's stuff going on in the background. I'm really sure. I'm sure Newcastle fans are nervous. I would be if I was a Newcastle fan. Rashford to Barca. Here we go. It's already done as far as I know. A year long, I think. Rashford to Barcelona. That's a weird one, isn't it? I mean, so much promise. I don't know what's going on with him or in his head, but I don't know on that one. I can't really comment on that one, but huge for Liverpool. What a window. Kerkez, Frimpong, Florian Wirtz. Wow, world star already, only 22. Coming in at a Premier League record if the add-ons are seen, but we could break it again with Isak. And of course, yesterday, Hugo Ekitike came in, 69 million plus 10 million add-ons. Wow. Olympiacos will go better than Barcelona in the Champions League. Mark my word, says Giannis Papakaku, is it? Papakaku. Greek man in the house. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Olympiacos are a really good, fine club, fine fan base. Unbelievable stuff, but and really hard to beat at home, aren't they? But let's see what happens. Champions League draw should be up pretty soon as well. We got to get back into the football. Premier League, Champions League. That's what I want. I want to see Liverpool's new players in, of course, the new Adidas kit, which comes live from August the 1st. They have to wait till August the 1st to get all the Adidas apparel. You've seen it, the training gear, the lovely red, the green away, and the white third strip is absolutely, it looks beautiful from Adidas. So let's go. That's the big thing for me, for the Reds. Adidas kits, they're going to be doing all the videos again. That's the other reason why they've all got real mad 54, 64 numbers. They're not the real numbers, squad numbers. They will get the new numbers in August the 1st when the Adidas kit is seen. They will get their proper numbers. Then they'll have their numbers for the new season, of course. They're not their numbers at the moment. They will rejig it. The new players are in. They'll all have the Adidas apparel and kits on. And then they'll have their new squad numbers on their back. Which team do I support? It's the Super Reds. It's Liverpool Football Club, my friend. Callum Grunshaw is in the house. Hey, Callum, hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub, show us you care. Just talking about the breaking news a few hours ago as Alexander Isak is edging closer to Newcastle exit. Who is he going to go to? Will it be Liverpool? Will it be Chelsea? Or will it be Saudi club? Let's see. Let's see. Intriguing 24, 48 hours incoming. You'll never walk alone. Absolute legend. Amazing, respectable club. Thank you very much, Giannis. Absolute legend in the house. Salah, Isak, Atike, McAllister, Allison. They're going for the double. We're going for the quadruple, baby. Look, a lot of football to play. There's still a long time in the window. What, 4 or 5 weeks left in the window? There is a long, long time to go in football, and anything can happen, guys. But hold on to your horses and hold on to your hat. Newcastle aren't going to sell him to Liverpool. They know those two have been colliding, says John Drewer. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't sell him to a rival, a direct rival that's in the Champions League, which is in the same league. It'd be madness. It's happened throughout the year. City used to do it. United did it. Chelsea used to do it. I'm thinking of Van Persie from Arsenal to United and stuff like that. It has been done. But it would be crazy if it's done in the next 5-6 weeks. It would be absolutely crazy. Everyone's heads would fall off if Isak did sign for Liverpool in this window. I mean, really, really would. But Ryan Cherky is some player. Absolutely brilliant. Didn't he sign for City from Lyon? Yeah, really good player. Really, really good player. But guys, as I say, that's the top news. That's the breaking news. Keep an eye on Isak. What will happen next? Twitter X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, has been crazy. Absolutely crazy for the last, 10, 12 hours. Big up, Dave. Bring me Isak, says Ravi. I'd love to bring you Isak, my friend. I exactly want to know what's going on. That's what I want to know. It's been crazy. Anything can happen in this window. This window is surrealism at its best. We've already been brilliant. We've already had a fantastic window with Kerkes, Frimpong, Viats. No, don't forget about Viats. Viats, he's going to light the league up. And then Hugo Etike yesterday. I'm sure there's a centre-half. I'm absolutely sure there's a centre-half incoming. Maybe Gaya, maybe someone left field. But Isak as well, possibly. Maybe. Who knows? Dave, Liverpool, we are making big moves. I'm only 10, says OG Yamal. Does your parents know you're on? Does your parents know you're on here if you're only 10? But anyway, guys, as I say, breaking news. Isak is unsettled, to say the least, at Newcastle. And if I was a Newcastle fan, I would not be happy. I would not be happy right now. I'd be fearing the worst. There is, as I said earlier, RB Leipzig, the striker, Benjamin Sesko. I think Liverpool looked at him. Newcastle are looking at him now, probably as a saying, look, if Isak goes, we've got to have someone lined up. We've got to have a striker lined up big time. To be fair, they probably needed him plus Isak. They were looking at Atike. They didn't get him. They should have been looking at Sesko for a while. I think United are looking at him too. OG Yamal, cheers for popping in, mate. Thank you very much. Liverpool are going to be exciting more so next season. Yeah, look, we had an unbelievable season last year. We won the league with basically no signings. Only Chiesa, Arne Slot's first season. What can he do with his team this season? It was mainly Klopp's last year. It was his tactics. It was his know-how. It was all his stuff, Slot, last year. Unbelievable stuff. But he's getting players in now. FSG are looking after him. Their checkbook's out. The checkbook and pen. The bank balance is out like never, ever before. Or close to 300 million. You would not have said that. And still time for more. And still time. We need to get rid of a few players. We need to sell a few players at the right price before we go again. Dave, the strength we have is going to frighten teams, says Ravi. I think it's frightening them already, Ravi, to be fair. Would you sacrifice having the love of your life for 15 consecutive Champions League trophies won by Liverpool? No, no, I wouldn't. I mean, look, I know the famous Shankly, you know, debt and love and, football means more than debt and all this type of thing. But at the end of the day, football is football. It's unbelievable. It pulls at the heartstrings. It's emotional. It's hobby for people. It's a way of life for a lot of people. But realistically, love your life, human, your kids, your family, come first, to be fair. Absolutely. Big up Dave, always a legend, Ravi. Thank you very much for popping in. As I say, hit that like button. It's free, it's real, it's LFC. Let's go. Huge season incoming. Gotta try to get back into the podcast with Keith and Ivan. Maybe get James Pearce on again, and Garrett Roberts from the Late Challenge podcast, ex-TAW. Maybe John Gibbons. Get all the boys back on before the season starts. Get chatting about the Reds. Get ready to rock for a huge, huge season. An assault on to retain the Premier League. Number 21 could be incoming. Number 7 could be incoming. We want to go further in that Champions League. Been knocked out last 16 last year. Okay, it was against PSG, the champions, and it was on penalties and stuff like that, but I'm sure Slot has his eyes on that as well. And that's why Liverpool are reinforcing and some in this window. Unbelievable stuff. Dave, the football we play is going to have us drooling like Homer Simpson looking at donuts. Dope. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be crazy. And I cannot wait. Liverpool playing Saturday against AC Milan in Hong Kong. Then on Wednesday, I think it is, in Yokohama against a local Japanese side. Then they fly back, play against Athletic Club twice, I think, at Anfield. Then on the 7th of August, it's Crystal Palace at Wembley, Charity Shield. Will we have Gea, or will Palace still have him the centre half of Crystal Palace? And then the Friday, the Premier League start at Anfield. Emotional day. Bournemouth, Liverpool, Bournemouth. You've got to start well. You've got to get your win under your belt. First league game. It's all building up to that game, you would say. It'll be emotional, of course, with Diogo Jota and his brother Andre. Tragedy a few weeks ago. I'm sure it'll be relived at Anfield for the first league game. Absolutely. But we will be ready. Will we have all our players in by then? You would hope so. You would really hope so. Liverpool are meticulous. They usually want to get it the way they want it. Will Isak be in red starting against Bournemouth? Will Isak be in the new Liverpool Adidas home kit? Now that would be a sight, wouldn't it? That would be an absolute sight. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I'd love it to happen. But let's see. Dave, I love these impromptu live streams. Full of energy. Look, it's all about Red Bull, baby. Let's go. I do like the odd live stream. You never know who's going to pop in around the world. I think it's important. Don't get huge amount of people in. I think it's time zones and stuff like that, but I'm not going to stay on much longer. Just a quick one. Is Isak coming to Liverpool? Keep your eyes on Isak, Alexander Isak, because something is happening right now as we speak. Even our bench will look strong in games. You've got to have a strong bench. We're going to be running for every competition next year. Every competition. We slightly last year, when you look at it, okay, Premier League won it with 4 to go. To be fair, it was probably 1 in March. But even in the cup games, you could have said 1 or 2 players to come on against PSG when we needed that goal. We didn't quite have it. So this year, that's what you need. You can never have enough players on your pitch or on your team or on the bench that can get a goal for you. Someone that can get a goal for you coming off last 15, 20. And the 5 sub rule really helps teams that have big benches. Absolutely legendary. So we will keep going. We will keep going, guys. Huge few hours coming for Liverpool Football Club. Keep an eye on it. They're in Hong Kong at the moment. Friendly against Milan AC on Saturday. It's all about game changers. It's all about quality. Quality is the key word we got to use. And it looks like Liverpool have got quality up to now, and they're looking to add more quality before the window goes. But a few have to leave, as I said earlier, and a few will leave before we probably add again. Stay safe. Talk soon. Will Alexander Isak come to Liverpool in this window, guys? A yay or no? Ekitike to play on the left, Isak up front, Mo on the right, says the Anfield Lark in the house. How are you, my friend? Hopefully you're well. That is some team. We still have the likes of Gakpo there. We still have Diaz there. He hasn't gone anywhere. No, Bayern Munich heavily linked. Possibly coming in with a second bid tomorrow. 80 million euro. Let's see. But as I said, if we can get rid of Diaz, I don't say get rid of. It's a bit of disrespect. If we can move on or sell Diaz, Nunez, Elliott, Simicas, maybe even Morton, how much would you get in for them? But we still need a centre half. We still need a Gea, somebody coming in, a starter type centre half, because Kanate only a year left. There is talk Kanate is looking just for more wages and looking for an extension, and is happy enough to extend, but just wants the right conditions and the right pay rise basically to extend. And Liverpool might pull that one out of fire. He still has a year left on his contract. We can go right up until the end on that one. Let's see. But I still think we need a centre half in this window. I think we do. Quanta's gone. We need one in. Gomez back in pre-season and training, but he's too injury prone. There's no way. There is no way, Jose, that Liverpool are going to, put all the cards on the table for Gomez to get 20 or 30 games even a season. It just can't. I mean, Kanate's had his fair share of injuries, and Van Dijk is not getting any older, so centre half needed big time. Diaz wants to move apparently, so let him go, says Anfield Ark. Apparently, he's in Hong Kong at the moment. If we get the right deal, if we get the right price, then we let him go. He still has 2 years left. So, I think Nunez is the one, probably will go. Maybe to Saudi. Elliott, maybe to someone like West Ham or Brighton, we'll see. But it's about the prices as well. You got to get the right price for them. Can't give them away for nothing. They're quality players. They're champions. They've a champions medal around the neck. Premier League champions medal around the neck. They've all that experience. They've been there. They've done it. So Liverpool are right to hold off and get the right people in. He's never been at Mane's levels, really. Says that. No way. Mane in the mirror. Sadio Mane. Wow, what a player he was. What a player he was. Bobby, Mo, and Sadio. What a front three. We could have Etike, Isak, and Mo. Vert's just in behind it. Wouldn't that be tasty? Wouldn't that be tasty? Wow. So crazy stuff in the next 24, 48 hours, I would say. As soon as I hear it, get it. I'll do it here, or do a short, or do something. So have your notifications on. Hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub. Show us you care. Will Alexander Isak end up at Liverpool in this window with a Liverpool Adidas red home jersey against Bournemouth in a few weeks' time? That's the big question. So stay tight, stay real. The goals. Anfield Ark, I mean, it'll be crazy. It'll be absolutely crazy. Now, Slot did say last year, if you look at the league games especially, there was a majority of them, maybe 70-75% of those games, you only won by one goal. The likes of 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. Now, when you're winning the game by, especially right at the moment, you're winning the game by one goal, I mean, anything can happen. It's so close to being a draw, So you want that firepower to at least give you the 2-goal cushion. The 3-1s, the 4-2s, the 2-0s. Get that cushion. Because then you can rest players with 20 to go. And you can use your bench. But the games are so close and so tight last year, right up to the last kick of the game, that you couldn't really make probably the substitutions you wanted to do. The rest the Mo type, rest Salah, rest Van Dijk, do something like that. You can't do it when there's only a goal in it and a few minutes to go. So that's why he wants the firepower. And that's why I think this year, even young Rio, what a player he is. I mean, he'd probably get minutes. I mean, he's only not even just gone 17. He'll get minutes. He'll be kept around the first team squad. Naoni as well, another top player. You've Jayden Dans, who's been left behind to train at AXA, had a bit of a niggle. So I mean, there's so much talent at the club right now. It is absolutely ridiculous. There's young Owen. Oh my God, I lost my voice there. I mean, we've so much talent, so much. Some might go out loan, and some might be just sold. Owen Beck almost went to Rangers. I think Derby County are looking at him as well. Tyler Morton, what will happen there? Will we keep him? Will we sell him? Will he go out on loan? I think Liverpool I think they actually want to sell them. Clark went to, Leipzig or RB Salzburg. Look, it's about Liverpool balancing the books now, I think, the next week or two. It's about balancing the books. If the Isak thing happens, if it happens, it happens. And they put in the bid and it goes through, great. But I think it's about balancing the books now, the next week or two. Getting money in for players. 3 or 4 or 5 maybe to go. See where we are. Keep tipping away for the centre half. We need a centre half in the next week or two. I'd like him in before the Charity Shield game. If it's Gaya, Mark Gaya and Palace, it is. But it could be somebody else. You never know. There's an Italian guy you're looking for. But I'm sure, look, we're looking at everyone. We're checking out everyone. They've got to fit the bill. They've got to be the ones Liverpool want. We just don't panic buy. We don't do it. We haven't done it. We're buying people for the positions that are adaptable, hungry, the right age, usually under 23. That type of thing. But the money's got to be right. The structure's got to be right. They've got to be mentally right to play for a huge club like Liverpool. And so far, they haven't got many wrong. It has to be said. Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, FSG, what a job you're doing. And we are not finished. Still work to do. Maybe another one or two to come in. What a window. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, 71. Absolute legend of the 80s and 90s. Wrestling scene. Legend. All the legends have passed away. Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan in the space of a few days. All the legends I grew up with as a kid are just passing away. And that makes me feel old. Rest in peace, guys. Guys, we leave it there. 31 minutes in. Do you think Alexander Isak is coming to Liverpool in this window, guys? Put in the comments, yes or no, or maybe. Very, very sad, Ravi. Absolutely. Have your notifications on, because something breaks tonight or tomorrow. You'll get it probably 10, 30 seconds short straight away. Twitter X, I'm there as well at LFC Content. I'm on Instagram as well, Dave's LFC Chats. I'm everywhere. Huge, huge season incoming for the Reds. Respect Dave, yes I think so. Isak to LFC. Ravi's confident. I'm not super confident on this one, I really amn't. It's a big deal, big money involved, 5-year deal, the wages, everything else. But I think in the next week or two, if the right players leave at the right price from Liverpool and it leaves a gap, then it is possible. So guys, we leave it there. Alexander Isak to Liverpool is still possible. Anything can happen. Stay safe. Talk soon. This means more.